Hi everyone! In this video I'll walk you through a new set of motor controls available in Power Apps. These new motor controls are based on the Microsoft Fluent design system, increasing the accessibility, usability, performance, providing a more immersive experience in Microsoft 365. Before we start, let me briefly thank Plumsail. Plumsail provides tools for web and SharePoint list forms and automated document creation. Stick around and stay tuned. I will tell you more about Plumsail and share the discount coupon. Let's get started. This is the framework, the UI framework used by Microsoft in Microsoft 365 to keep the same user experience everywhere. And motor controls in Power Apps are based on this framework. Now, before to jump immediately on Power Apps, let me open a couple of controls because I want to show you that these are exactly in the same aspect in Power Apps. So this is the control, the button, and scrolling down, let me highlight one, tab list. Here you can have this control horizontal or vertical. And we are going to show you in a bit that in Power Apps, you have exactly the same control, motor control. All right, let's switch in Power Apps now. Luckily, I have already a tab open here, and let's start to create a new app. I'm going to click here to start the creation of a new app. Start with a page design, and then I'm going to use a blank canvas targeting a tablet. Let's get started now to create this app. In order to enable motor controls that are not turned on by default, you need to go in the command bar here and let's click on Settings. Down below you will find on the left menu here Upcoming Features. Clicking on it, then you can use the search to filter the controls that we want. In this case is motor controls and themes. Now let's turn on this functionality, and here you can see immediately that something is changing. Let me close now this panel, and here I have this new capability which will allow me to define a theme. This is pretty cool. So I can define immediately a theme that I'm going to use in my Power Apps. That could be steel, orange, platinum, green, red, and the classic Power Apps colors. Now let's say that I'm ready to play with this new capability. And here, when you click on the plus button, you will see two tabs now. The classic user controls, and then moreover you have modern. Here under preview you will find all new modern controls that we can use. Now let's start to place one, for example badge. Let me play. Here we go, my badge control is now placed on my screen in my Power App. On the right I have the properties of this control. Let me select the control and now we can see a bunch of properties. I have content. This means that I can change the text here. And I have appearance, I can click on the drop down, I have tint, I can select filled for example, or ghost, outline, let's go with tint, and you can change also the color. There is brand, danger, important, informative, and so on. The shape, we have three options, circular, square, and rounded. Let's set circular. Let's move with the next control, which is the button. Let me drag and drop a button here, and here we go. Now let's explore the properties for this control as well. So here you have the classic text property, the type, this could be a primary, a secondary, outline, subtle, and transparent. Let's go with the primary. And this is the most important properties that you can change for this control. Now let's move with another control, and it is in this case the checkbox control. As properties we have label. You can change the text here on this label. Let me remove box for example, and we have now just check. And then you can also define if you want to display this control as checked or not. Let me add the next one, which is the combo box. The combo box is now dropped in the property panel. In data source, I'm going to target the accounts table coming from Dataverse. Here I can select the view that I want to display. Let me go with all accounts, and then I can define if I want to allow multiple selection or not, and if I want to search in this combo box. Let me play the app so we can see some content in this combo box. We have some users inside: Henrietta Müller, Mark Wilber, Paul Green. I can search the user, and I have the multi-selection enabled. Next one is Date Picker. This is a new revamped Date Picker control. It's pretty nice right now. In the property panel, you can set the placeholder. The format could be short, long, abbreviated, and year, month. Now let me play just to show you the usability of this control, and here we go. You can set very easily the date in this Date Picker. Let's go with the drop-down control. This is another nice control. And let's set something here. I'm going to reuse always the existing table in Dataverse. In this case, it's the table accounts. Here you can set if this field is required or not, and the connections to the items. And if I play now this control, we can see all items contained here. And you can set easily the item that you want to display in the drop-down. The information button is also pretty nice to see. It's very useful if you place it next to the fields, and it offers you a nice user experience explaining the meaning of a specific field. You can change the size of the icon and the content. If I click on play, I can now click on this one, and I have this panel showing up on top, info button, content. You can change the content in the properties panel, of course. All right, let's move on with the next one. This is the classic link control. This is very easy as control. You have the text, and then you have the URL to add. Let's move with the progress bar. This is another nice control. If you don't know the percentage of your background process or your operation that you are performing, you can set in this control the indeterminate property to on. In this way, the user will wait until the event or the process will terminate. You have additional properties like accessible label. The thickness could be large, for example, and the shape could be rounded or square. The color could be success if the operation is completed, warning, and error. These are all the possibility. If you set indeterminate to off, you have the ability to set the current value and the maximum value of this progress bar. Finally, let's go with the radio button, and here, like for the combo box and checkbox, we have more or less the same user experience. For the sake of this demo, I'm going to target always the accounts table. Here you can define the view that you want for that table, and if I play now, we can see this checkbox control. All right, let's move with the next one. It is the slider. This is also another useful control if you need to configure a specific value for something that you have in fact in the properties panel. The value, accessible label, the size could be smaller, for example, minimum value and maximum value. The layout could be horizontal or could be even vertical. This is also nice to have. Finally, moving to the next, we have the spinner. Let me place it, this one here. This is also useful if you want to process something and if you want to provide the information to the user that the process, it takes a while or some time. As appearance, you can have primary or inverted. The label position could be after, before, above or below. You can just set a text, let's say loading, and now in the label position you can have above, for example, the spinner size could be tiny, extra small, small, large, extra large, and huge. Let's go with the huge, and that's it for a spinner perspective. The tab list, it is the control that we have seen before in the web page of Fluent UI. This offers the ability, as always, to set a data source. In this case, I'm going to set the table. We have 3 items. Here you can display the view that you want. Let's go with none. And then the size, large, medium, and the alignment could be horizontal or vertical. This is pretty useful in the case you are planning to build a navigation, for example. This could be definitely an option. You can have this navigation on top of your app, and then you can display a different screen according to the selection of the user. Now let me select this one. If I make it a little bit larger, we can see now the 3 options available showing up. All right, now let's move with the text. This is a classic label control. Here you have the text as a property. You have the font size, font weight, font style. You can set and style a bit this control. The alignment could be vertical and middle, top of the button. The line could be start and center, justify, auto, hide. This is also useful. And that's it from this text control. Finally, the text input. This is quite common. We have the placeholder, we have the mode as a single line or multi-line, and finally we have the toggle. This last one is also pretty nice to see. As properties, you have the label position, and you have checked or not. Plumsail Forms allows you to design modern SharePoint forms with the support of lists, libraries, content types, and folders. You can work with data from different sites and edit all relevant information in a single responsive form. Create depending cascading dropdowns with no code and customize their appearance. A data table control allows you to design forms with child items without creating separate lists. Inksketch to collect handwritten signatures and notes, and Likert scale for long questionnaires. The collected data will be saved to the fields of the same list. Plumsail Forms also provides a powerful form builder for web forms that you can publish to any website or share with a link. You can create online forms from scratch or start from one of the ready-to-go templates. Choose from different form types: registrations, feedback and surveys, reservations, orders, applications. Create multi-step forms and split fields into logical sections. Collect repeating data in a structured form with a data table control. Allow user to attach files, leave handwritten notes and signatures, and more. Collect data with Plumsail Forms and merge submissions to create custom documents with another tool, Plumsail Documents. It's a template-based solution for automated document creation. Transform documents into reusable templates and populate them with data from your systems. For example, create reports from your CRM, employment contracts from your HR software. Deliver documents by email, send for e-signature, store in the cloud, or use any of over 2,000 integrations. You can try all Plumsail products for free for 1 month. Find the link under the video. With the promo code PowerApps, you will get 10% off your first year subscription. Let me know what do you think about motor controls in Power Apps. I hope you enjoyed this video. If yes, please consider to subscribe. I hope to see you next time.